Hello again, and welcome to Winning with the Wrangler at Dick Powell's Leadership Corner, brought to you by Earth, Wind, Fire, Water Training and Development, where our passion is building leaders of today and tomorrow. The information on today's program was gathered from many different places and many different things. If you hear yourself in our conversation today, it is not all about you. For speaking engagements and appearances, please give us a call at 727-422-1833. Or send me an email, dick@ewfw.org. Today, we're going to continue our journey on the top 10 of things of building successful teams. Now, this is part 2, and we're going to pick up where we left off, and that is talking about communication. Now, in teams, this is going to be a highly important piece that sometimes gets messed around with as we go through. So let's get started. Communication. You know, this sounds so easy. I mean, we have cell phones, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Pinterest, texting, email, and many more things that I probably don't even remember to take and tell you. So why is it so hard to make sure that everyone on the team is and feels connected? To ensure proper communication, we need to build relationships with each team member. Then ensure each team member has a relationship with everyone else on the team. When team relationships are in good standing relationally, communication oftentimes flows freely with no interruptions. When poor communication happens, we oftentimes see relationships have stagnated. Poor communication creates a mistrust, and loyalty slides to the bottom. People want off the team. They tell stories that have appeared from their own imagination, and once this happens, it's hard to battle and rebuild the trust lost. Communication must be intentional, continuous, purposeful, and valuable. Information needs to be disseminated in a totally open and honest two-way connection. Two-way communication means everyone on the team needs to be heard. If the information flows only in one direction, it is likely to stop where it started. Like the news, we listen and cannot ask questions or add to the stories. Communication with your team needs to be flowing to and from both the leader and the team as a whole. What makes for good communication? Well, intentional, continuous, powerful, purposeful, valuable information disseminated in a totally open and honest two-way connection. And two-way communication means that everyone on the team needs a voice and needs to be heard. The best ideas often come from unexpected communication. How much is too much? Well, too much communication is better than no communication. The trick here is not to be so over-communicative that the team cannot live or think without you. Too much is when you cannot get off the phone or email to complete the tasks you're called to accomplish. Too little is when you are chasing everyone on the team down and have no clue what is going on within the team. Inspiration. You see, the leader of the team has an obligation to inspire each team member to reach their highest potential. To ensure you, the leader, must do your homework continually and consistently. This will mean building the relationships to know the team members' needs, seeking out and building on the team's members' gifts, talents, and dreams. People do what people see. Inspiration comes from living what you are saying and doing, going beyond expected norms and expectations of the team. One of the most important rules of leading teams is enthusiasm. Enthusiasm of the leader's team sets the tone, the attitude, the excitement that builds the team. And without enthusiasm, the team will become lethargic and disoriented. Enthusiasm is one of the building blocks of the successful team. Enthusiasm is contagious and builds the camaraderie and relationships needed to sustain the team. At one time, I was involved with a weekend-long training that was called Thousum. It received its name from a person who was so full of life and excitement that when they pronounced enthusiasm, it came out Thousum, and the word stuck. What everyone on the team experienced was that year after year, the excitement never waned. The jobs that needed completed never seemed to be too much, and the laughter was the connector to everyone involved. Many years later now, I treasure those times on that team. The work was long and hard in preparation and in the presenting, but I do not remember being tired or worn out. I do not want to ever forget what the word meant, Thousum, brought to the team. Now, I'm going to encourage you to think about the daily 5 when you're working with a team. I've heard it said many times, any action is better than no action at all. My statement would be to take action when the mission and vision are driven by the strategy. In John C. Maxwell's classic book, The 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership, the 19th law is the law of timing. It goes like this: the wrong action at the wrong time leads to disaster. The right action at the wrong time brings resistance. The wrong action at the right time is a mistake. And the right action at the right time equals success. You see, the right time for action is when the plan has been set, researched, and is ready to execute. This plan needs to serve the mission objective. It has to be clear, measurable, achievable, and compliant with the overall vision of the team. Make sure to plan for contingencies, assign and coordinate with each team member with his or her part in the overall success of all the objectives. You see, the daily 5 are 5 things each person commits to do to push themselves and the team ahead. These can be as simple as answering phone calls within an hour, or contacting a potential client every 2 hours. Each team member will have his or her own drivers. When the team shares each other's daily 5s with each other, it is surprising how the individual team member moves ahead, but also how the entire team moves ahead. Such as, I'm an author, speaker, and business owner, and my daily 5s are read, write, speak, network, and plan. Now, evaluation. This is something I really can't encourage you to do all the time. You see, evaluation starts every time you finish something. You continually, consciously evaluate every single day from what is going well and what is not. Each team member should answer, from your perspective, have achieved our desired outcome for this project and this team. Honest and targeted evaluations set the stage for growth. They are valuable to indicate where improvements are needed in the continuum for growth and development. Evaluations set the directions. Now, I want you to tell you that these are not witch hunts. These are actual things that need to happen. When teams do not do their evaluations, though, they will continue to do what they've always done and get what they've always gotten. No or a half-baked evaluation, either no evaluation or a half-baked evaluation, sets the stage for failure, both now and in the future. It also takes away from the possibilities of personal and team growth. It will stop the personal accountability and personal leadership dead in its tracks. It is said the past is the prelude to the present, and evaluation and alterations or changes derived are the prelude to the different future. Let's look at some next steps that we can take. Now, it's been my pleasure to share these top 10 keys to building successful teams with you. You see, you, the leader, need a call of action, something that you're going to put in place. You see, there will be times all you need to succeed is a timely guidance. When you work with a coach, someone who has been there and has the knowledge to help you move faster, quicker, and rise to the top, and shave time off, the ascent is the smart move for you to do. Every time we look at building teams, we oftentimes think how we're going to do it and why we're going to do it and the outcome. So I'm going to give you a little extra bonus here. I'm going to give you the bonus of the 6-step process that works every single time when you do the work and put it in place. Now, the reason I can make that guarantee is we've been using this for well over 20 years. And we've seen it work in our homes and in our organizations, both for-profit and nonprofit. The first piece that I'm going to share with you is doing the research. Many times we, as leaders and team builders and moms and dads and whatever we are, wherever we are in the leadership organization piece, we forget to do our research. You want to be a success, something's going on, you need to do the research. Doing your research means doing your homework. And this will be an ongoing, continuous process of being a leader of the team. You see, this is all about what are you reading? What are you watching? What are you listening to? Where are you going to seminars? Who are you hanging around? Where are you spending time? Doing the research is all about in that piece, because that's where you learn and move ahead. Without research, you're just depending on what you've always learned. Then you might ask yourself, what has that always gotten me? Now, the second one is prepare. You see, when you're doing some research, you're going to find some things that you need to do. Each day you'll prepare for the day ahead and the future. You as a leader cannot expect those in your team to attend meetings, seminars, trainings if you do not. Stay current by reading everything you can about your chosen endeavor, your vision, and exchange and encourage that information with team members and encourage them to do likewise. This thing of being prepared is more than just a Boy Scout motto. It is really means is that I've got to stay on top of everything that's going on. One of the biggest downfalls I've met with leaders lately is they've been working or at a large organization for a long time, and they've retired or left for some other reason, but they didn't stay on top of their game. They didn't stay on top of what they called their career. They didn't stay current by reading and attending the seminars and doing the things that need to be done. And so they were behind the times. And when they would go to an interview or they would be interviewed to be on another team, they found out that they didn't have the qualifications of what they were needing. They weren't prepared. So as you're doing the research, remember the things you need to do to prepare. Sound pretty easy? Well, it is if you stay on top of it. It's often said that readers are leaders and leaders are readers. And the people I know are on that average of 1 book a week. And they read many different things. They read the things that are always good for them and have to do with their career or looking toward the future, but they also read for fun. And so when I go into an executive or someone who says they're a leader, and I go into their office or to their home, and I don't see any of those things laying around, no books, no magazines that pertain to their education of their career, that's a bad sign for me. It's something that tells me that they're not willing to do the work to get to where they want to go. Research and prepare. The third step in this 6th step is to execute. You see, having a dream, a written vision, a shared mission, and a wonderful strategy will only take you so far. You, the leader, must execute the plans and lead the way for your team members to execute the plan. People do what people see. So many times we run into the opportunities where we see people to do fire, aim, ready. What we're encouraging you to do is to get ready and then aim and then fire. You see, that's by doing the research, getting prepared before you execute. But if you don't execute, you know what? It's just going to sit there. So you have to take action. Number 4 in the 6-step plan is network. And networking is just that. You see, networking is spreading your net. And spreading your net is hard work. If you've never thrown a cast net out into the sea to catch some fish, you don't know how hard that work is. But networking is similar. You see, it's not just attending a meeting once a week or even once a day. Networking is a 24-hour a day, 7 days a week part of leading your team. If you're not being seen and heard, you're not being seen and heard. And that's a fact. I wrote that many years ago, and I often have to think back when I wrote it, did I really understand it? But what it means is this: no matter where you're at, are you representing your team? Are you representing your organization? Are you representing what you stand for? You see, that's what networking is. Networking is building relationships. Networking is not all about selling or doing those kind of things, but it's building relationships. It's building a network of people that you know, like, and trust. And they know you, like, and trust you. Now, if you've done those first 4 things with yourself and your team, here's what I'm going to guarantee you at that point. You're going to get to number 5, and you're going to celebrate. You see, celebration is all about placing a positive thought process deep within your mind. It's what's called as your mind recreates things that it enjoys. So if you celebrate those things every day that happen and make things happen, your body and your mind's going to want to do them again because they enjoy that process. You see, it's a pleasure point, and the mind and body will want to do it repeatedly. I want to add here that failure is the most powerful positive word in your arsenal of leadership, if thought about in a correct manner. You see, failure is only failure when you don't learn from it. Look at it this other way. When I fail, the more I learn. The more I learn, the more I can do. The more I can do, the more I can share. And the more I can share, the more we all win. You see, failure is just a learning tool. But you have to look at it that way. And if you feel that you're a failure, you need to ask some questions. What did I learn from that? And what will I do differently? And that will turn it into a positive piece for you as a learning tool. Celebrate that. I'm going to encourage you to make sure that you're keeping a journal. And in that journal, you write down the good things, the bad things, and things that happen, and celebrate the ones, even if they're not so good, by asking those 2 questions. What did I learn from that? And what will I do different? Those 2 things turn that failure into a positive note, and it makes it able to celebrate. Wow, I learned that from that. I'm not going to do that next time. I'm going to do this. You see how much fun that can be. The number 6 on this great list that works every single time, if you're willing to work it, is evaluate. You see, evaluation will happen daily, weekly, monthly, and yearly. It will be how you keep the vision alive. Your plans may change, but the vision will not. We use a daily journal, and with the right page used for things both good and bad, and things that happen daily. I use my daily worksheets. And I do that because it keeps me accountable. I do them to track what I am to do and where I'm into doing it. and at what is the expense, and so on. The left side of the page in my journal, I use to write down a quote, a book I need to read, special occasion I need to attend, somebody I need to call, somebody I need to take and be in touch with. I use it for the whole different part and piece. Now, where can you find this information that we've just gone over? I want you to know that there's a book called How Not to Lose Your Bass, BASS, in Business. This information today on the top 10 of building successful teams is inside that book. Also, the bonus of 6 steps to success: research, prepare, execute, network, celebrate, and evaluate are within there. So I encourage you to pick that up or give us a call here at Earth, Wind, Fire, Water Training Development and take the class. If you truly want to learn how to put together a team that is not only successful, but fun to be within and fun to make things happen with, not work for, but work with, then this is a place for you. This top 10 of building a successful team. You can find it here at www.ewfw.org, and you'll find it in the back. If not, just give us a call, 727-422-1833, or send me an email, dick@ewfw.org. Ask for the top 10 of building successful teams. We'd be glad to send it to you. Now, let's take a recap of what we learned. This is day 2 of this instruction. And we started off with leadership, leadership, leadership. And then we went right into vision, our future picture, mission, the purpose, and the strategy, the plan. We talked about the SMART goals. We talked about making sure that we had the right people at the right time on the right bus, in the right seat. We talked about meetings. And we gave you a sample meeting agenda and how important agendas were. We talked about communication. We talked about how communication should be the easiest thing we do within the team and within our organization, and how we struggle making that happen. We talked about how inspiration really sets the tone for each team member as well as each team as a group. We talked about the Daily 5, and we talked about the evaluation and how important evaluating everything we do, and we evaluate it through the vision and mission. We look at everything on the strategy through the vision and mission. And these next steps that's called for in this opportunity, this top 10 keys to success with teams, really needs to put you in that place of that thought process. Now, I know that when it all comes together, you're saying to yourself, well, this has been a lot to take and put in so quickly of an opportunity. Some of the other things that we do help and teach and instruct here at Earth, Wind, Fire, Water Training Development are, of course, How Not to Lose Your Bass in Business, which is a workbook for entrepreneurial people and the work spirit to put them into a company, how to make money with the company, and how to maintain the company. We look very closely at Sword Success with Coaching Skills, which is 52 tips on empowering others and becoming a leader within your organization. We also have an opportunity with Soar to Success with the business of coaching. Now, every leader really needs to learn how to be a good coach. You see, it's more than about you. We also have a course or an opportunity to learn about the 21 irrefutable laws of leadership. Now, this book was written by John Maxwell, and he has empowered us to put it in place for you. It is a great way to learn what leadership means and how to put it in place within your team and organization. We have another opportunity called the 360 Leader. And the 360 Leader is a way to look at and learn how to lead from anywhere within the organization, no matter what your title, no matter what where you are within there. It's a way to learn how to bring ideas and relationship building within the group. There's one here that all leaders, I believe, need to take, needs to spend some time with, needs to dig into, and it's called Everyone Communicates, Few Connect. The reason for that is we know in today's world we are really, really busy, and so everyone tells me. The thing is we don't communicate very well because there's no connections. Many times we're using our cell phones, we're sending texts, we're on the emails, we're doing something, but it's very non-personal. And so is the connection really being made? And that's a question only the person on the other end can really answer. Can they really tell you what you just told them? Many times not. So Everyone Communicates, Few Connect is a highly one I suggest greatly. And one of the elements we put forth is put your dreams to the test. By looking at this instruction, putting your dreams to a test will let you really test out your dream. It'll let you test out your thought process of building a company around a certain vision and whether or not it is really your vision or someone else's vision. You see, is it your dream or someone else's dream? Are you trying to accomplish what your thought process is, what your goals are? Or are you trying to do something for someone else? It really makes you answer those hard questions. How Not to Lose Your Bass in Business is a good place to start for all leaders who are learning that next step on how to build a team, but how to build themselves right along with it. You see, everywhere we go is every place we always have a team. Whether we like it or not, we're always on a team someplace. And we need to know how to make that happen. And that's why this 360 leader probably is a really important piece, along with Everyone Communicates, Few Connect. Now, I want to encourage you to do these things because we have found out over and over that those who go on with ongoing continuous learning are the ones who become a success for themselves and for their organization. We have found this in for-profit as well as nonprofit companies. We have found it in families, and we found it in churches. Now, on behalf of myself, Dick Powell, and the whole Leadership Corner team, I do want to say thank you for being a part of today's program. Our hope is that you have received a nugget of wisdom and guidance that will help you build your leadership ability. Now, if you have any questions or comments on today's program, please do not hesitate. Give us a phone call, 727-422-1833. 727-422-1833. Send me an email, dick@ewfw.org, dick@ewfw.org. Go to our website, take a look around, find all those good things that you can happen with us. Send us a little note. There's a little box to click on. It's really easy. Go to www.ewfw.org, ewfw.org. And when you're ready to have your organization, invite me to come and do an instruction with you on leadership and accountability. Or give a keynote speech for your organization that you're having a special function. Or you just really need to talk to us and are ready to go to that next level in your leadership opportunity. Give us a phone call, 727-422-1833. Send me an email, dick@ewfw.org. It's the very best thing you can do to build yourself, to build your company, build your organization, build your family. Know that no matter where you're at and what you're doing, you're always a leader because someone is always looking to you for answers. Know that no matter where you go and what you do, this will always be a part of your life. Here at Earth, Wind, Fire, Water Training Development, our true belief is that you are a leader and are ready to learn more. Until next time, this has been my pleasure. Dick Powell, Leadership Wrangler. Ride hard, ride fast.